Michelle, did you want to say anything quickly about kind of your week? I know you wrote a lot of business, briefly, just kind of what that looked like.
Well,
maybe.
Just to give you some encouragement, what I've learned over these 18 years is really the more that you quote people and the more people that you talk to, the more sales you're going to make. And so I'm just really trying to load up my calendar now with customers, current clients, and I'm really passionate about cancer insurance because I have it. And so if they already have a policy and I'm just trying to add on something, it's an easy add-on. It's a great plan. If they need something else, I'm going to try to do that. But I'm just really asking more questions about their life. I'm really trying to help them solve problems and just find out about their family, their mortgage, their debt, and help them think through the future. With the state of everything going on right now, people are concerned. There are customers that have lapsed 4 years ago that I'm rewriting now because we're getting back in touch with them. And because I've stayed, not necessarily I've stayed in touch, but I'm the one who's getting back in touch. And they remember me. They remember that I came to their home. And so just encouragement to you is that the more people that you quote and give good solutions for, the more products you sell. And that's just the bottom line. It is a numbers game. Our business is a numbers game. And the more people you can touch, the more hearts you can change, the more families you can change. I just had another death claim today, Jonathan, for a lady who lives in LaPorte, Rose Vargas. And I've covered her and her daughter, and I haven't been able to reach her in years. And I'm going to have to try to go over there and see them, or I'm going to look up on White Pages and try, because I have like 6 numbers for them, but we have not been able to reach them. So, but I did receive an email, so I should have a current number, and I'll look that email up and call her. It's just crazy what we get to do and how we change people's lives. I've had so many death claims this last year, and it's changed my heart in a lot of ways, and just made me more passionate about what we do. So I don't know. That's about it.
Yeah.
It was a good week. It was 10 applications. It was $12,555. And I've already got 2 done for next week that are submitted and already approved.
Love it. Looks like you beat me again. I don't know how the heck that keeps happening.
Well, you were gone out of town, so I'm going to give you, some grace.
Right.
He won't let that be an excuse for him.
Yeah.
Some of mine were declines, and I rewrote them. I'm finding that CVS, this is a tip. I'm finding that CVS only sends you 1 email, and they won't redraft your customer's account. So you really, really need to watch CVS when they get those emails. And I probably have more people to rewrite with CVS that I don't even know about yet. I need to research. So looking in your current customer client list and really keeping up with them, it's important. If you get a lapse notice, it's important. If you get a pending lapse notice, it's important, because you know what? My customer said this Saturday, I had 49 people on my calendar to call on Saturday. Now, I didn't reach everybody, but I moved the people to Sunday that I didn't reach on Saturday. But one guy said, Reginald, he said, you know what, Michelle, thank you for calling me. You always keep in touch with me. And that's what I love about you. And he was a pending lapse, and we got him fixed. We got it fixed. We got it redrafted today. So those things are important,
Yeah, for sure. Well, we were talking with Juanita about that at Buffalo Wild Wings yesterday. Doesn't feel like yesterday. We got home so late. I'm just about, how important it is just for your clients in general, like letting them know that you care. I mean, that's more than half of the sales process, I think, like people feeling you just genuinely care about it, but also staying profitable in your business and not missing that opportunity with the book of business that you have, So, and I know I have a big focus on that with everybody, is to do my best on, processes this year to make sure your business is profitable, right? And that we're feeling less dazed and confused, which, it's going to happen, but that's my heart this year and my goal. So, I want to ask you a question, Jeff. Looks like you're still unmuted. So dude, I think we both love music. I think we can agree on that. So this coming out of the event, I was just thinking about it, right? Like just reflecting and like how I viewed it, right? So like, Jeff, if you go to a concert, right, live to one of your favorite bands, right? Mm-hmm. You spend a little bit of money to go see them live, right? Versus, and be there in person, listen to them live, versus be at your house, even if you have a nice stereo system, right? Versus streaming it and maybe, doing multitasking while you're listening to it. Which one do you think you're going to get the most from and is going to impact you the most? Seriously.
Well, without question, live, being there in person. I've got some fantastic memories from, being, a few feet away from musicians that, all of us know, and seeing them perform that I'll never forget. It definitely has a huge impact.
Right.
I mean, I'd much rather, there's bands that I don't even really listen to that much, recordings of, but love to see live.
Right.
Some bands like, this is not my band, but the Grateful Dead was always known as a live band. Their music's not that great, or at least I don't think so. The couple songs, but yeah, they were, they made a living and became famous through their live shows.
Right.
So you just don't know what you're going to pick up. It's going to be different than, reading the textbook or listening to the song. They tell stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
So there's no question that being there live, especially for my brain, the way it works, visual and, hearing and seeing and doing it, that's how you remember it.
Yeah. And same for me, man. Like two of my most memorable concerts were Dave Matthews and Dave Matthews. I went to two. I went to two separate ones. I really wanted to go to Red Hot Chili Peppers, but I haven't been to a ton of live concerts. I've been to a couple country ones, but the ones I've been to have been
Dave Matthews.
Crazy good. Anyways, so and I'm bringing this up for a reason. Okay, I'm not just blowing smoke. Because I think things we understand, like even with our family, like if I'm talking to my brother and we both understand something we're talking about, we're able to connect more on that subject than just trying to tell the other one about it. When I might understand it more than him. So the reason I'm asking is that we're all kind of on the same page. So like the next event is going to be in Reno. It's June 24th?
The 26th.
June 24th to the 26th. Okay. It's, it's going to cost more than staying here, obviously. Right. But the ticket price is $500 after January 31st. Right. Until January 31st, it's $199. And look, we've never done it on the West Coast. I got a lot of value out of this event. So I really encourage everyone on the call. I think I would strongly encourage you to go ahead and get a ticket and commit to going, because you're going to get value out of it. And it's right by Lake Tahoe. It's not like you have to be at that event the whole time. Like there's other things to do. So yeah, I just encourage you, like, until the 31st.
So you're saying you can take a vacation out of it?
Yeah, you might like it. Like I told Megan, I was like, I don't know if I want to go to Reno. She's like, well, you might like it. I was like, yeah, you're right.
Lake Tahoe's right there.
I'll give you one further too, is being there live is way better than seeing a recording. But the difference between being in the front row as opposed to being all the way in the back is huge.
Right.
I mean, and that's something that we always do. And that, Zoe has my daughter ever since we started taking her to concerts, it was like we had to be there when they opened the doors, and be at the very front. And it's been fantastic because that's a totally different experience.
Yeah.
Which is, in the 8 Steps to Success, Andy's book, he talks about, sit on the front row. Well, you're going to pay attention if you're on the front row, number one, but there's no distractions. It's you and the speaker or the performer. And if you want to make it memorable, you'll remember if you were on the front row.
Right.
Or up as close as you can get. And that's how I like to see shows. I don't like to sit. I actually don't have a seat. I'm usually standing room only, general admission, because we want to be as close as we can. Exactly.
So I just really encourage you, go ahead and look at getting the ticket before the 31st. You're going to save $300. All you got to do is get there.
The new link is theallianceevents.com.
We can post it on our Slack channel.
I'll post it.
Anyways, I got a lot of value out of it. I know, us that were there, if we come back and work, we're going to be more profitable. There was real value that was shared. Not like there isn't in previous ones, but like we spent, 45 minutes with Mark Hudson doing in-home, like in detail. We've never done that at a conference. Bell Krause, other top people, and that you can really plug and play. You can use the information and apply it to what's going on. So please take a look at that. If you do go and you really tell me like you didn't get much value out of it, I'll seriously pay you back. Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like I genuinely want our team to win and to be more profitable this year. So I want to mention that it's June. I mean, you have the link, but June 24th, 26th. It's just a 2-day event.
And it's going to start in the evening on that Friday instead of Thursday or Friday morning.
Yeah.
And it's only going to go until like noon on Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's going to start later on Friday and end earlier on Sunday.
It's a shorter window. We take breaks. It'll be a lot of fun. And then the other one coming up next week is the Dallas event. So if you guys can get to Dallas, it's just 4 hours and it's our smaller group. And I know there's going to be a lot of value shared there. I have a talk for like 20, 25 minutes. I'm going to bring it. I mean, get ready. So you're going to get value just out of what I have to say. Because I'm spending a lot of time on it. So I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I'm putting a lot of intention into it amongst other people. And then I wanted to show this to you guys because I know there's we have a ton of products, right? And I sometimes am like, man, there's just so much. So I want to just do this as a reminder. I'm going to share my screen real quick with you guys. Because sometimes I forget about this stuff. I've been here a while. So if you go to your ARC page, right here under connections, we now have a direct link to Chris Norris's site. So you can literally just go in here and book a time with him just to refresh yourself on what him and the team can do for you. So I met with Ethan and Ryan, 2 guys that he has that work in his back office with a company called Revisor. And they work with like Bloomberg and some other high asset management companies. And man, their operation is pretty impressive. Like really impressive. So it's a tool, and a weapon that we have that I'm underutilizing. And if I'm underutilizing, I know others of us are too. So if you want a refresher, go book a time. That's what he's there for. You can just literally get on there. You don't have to fill out a green sheet and just talk with them. Say, hey, look, remind me what you can help me with. Refresh me on how I can help you more, because he wants to help you. So there's that link. And like I said, it's right there under connections. You don't have to type it in anymore. And then Gina Hawks, I talked with her for a little bit this weekend. She's incredible. She's a huge resource too. I feel like that we underutilize a little bit with IULs. Same thing. If you want a refresher, or if you have someone new, or you just want to know more about the concepts of IUL, schedule a time with her and talk to her. That's what she's there for. And she's very good at it. I mean, very good. So those are the main two things. I know those are like other things like the annuities and IUL specifically that will increase your profitability and people do need help with. I had a conversation with a current client today, and I just caught up with her and told her like, hey, we have this resource where we can help you. You know, do you want? She was like, please, Jonathan, thank you for asking. Like, I've been thinking about this and I didn't know where to start. You know, so I filled out a green sheet and we're going to schedule a time with Chris when she gets her and her mom's statement. So try to take the emotion out of it, because like sometimes with me, I feel like I need to know it better because I'm such a kind of a lion in that regard. Like I want to get it done myself. And a lot of times it's like, man, yes, you need to get it done, but we have a lot of powerful people that we can lean on, right? And we need to be reminded of that a lot of times. Like it doesn't have to always be us. We just have to go to work, be ourselves, and know that we have people to reach out to, you know? Like Juanita's been like an invaluable help to Megan and other people in our organization. Like seriously, with Medicare, because she's been doing it so long, you know, like, and we have other people that can do other things, right? So let's, try to keep reminding myself. I'm going to try to reminding you of the tools that we have. And then the last thing, I know Jeff Wright's probably getting on soon. So the health matching accounts, you should have got an email. I believe it came through on Wednesday. Let me see, Wednesday, looks like the 19th. It came from, I'll put it here in the chat. Where's the chat box? I don't know if I can chat when I'm sharing the screen. Chat that in there. Megan's going to chat in the email it came from. So with HMAs, it's a great product, but we haven't really had a sales system for it in the past. Now there's an 8-page sales system on how to sell this to clients. And I was just so excited. I'm like, now I have bullet points to focus on. And, right, Jeff? Like, it's powerful, dude. Like, we know it's a good product, but now we have some bullet points that we can go back to people we sold and just say, like, hey, would this be value to you? Like, you're going to spend this money.
Did you say what you're talking about?
HMAs. Yeah. You're going to spend this money. You might as well get it at half off, right? I mean, you're going to spend it. We all spend money on healthcare, dentists, whatever. So now we have a system. So I'd encourage you to go find that email. You may need to look in your junk. It could have gone there. It went to my junk, but Megan did post the email that it came from, and just download that so you have it, so you can look at it with clients. I think that's really all I have. I'm excited for the year. We just have a lot of resources. So whatever your goals are, we're here to help you reach them. And a lot of it's just being reminded of people we have here to help us. Like Jeff, I see Jeff jumped on. So, hey, Jeff, I wanted to tell you something. I'm not blowing smoke just because you're an otter. Okay. I really mean it. I really appreciated your talk this week. And I'm very grateful for you. I know Mike and Michelle are. And, I'm grateful. I don't have to guess at your passion for what you're doing. Like, it's obvious. And it's helping me. I know it's helping other people. So we appreciate it big time. So.
Hey, Jonathan, when was that email sent?
Wednesday.
Okay. All right.
I think the 19th.
Jeff Wright, you're muted.
Anyways, Jeff is up.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, thank you so much for those kind words. I appreciate it. I enjoy being a part of all this. It's been a really good, fun 11 years that I've been doing it. But I thought the convention was good. I wanted to ask everybody on the call tonight kind of what their takeaways were from the convention. Jonathan, I appreciate you liking the presentation. I wanted to know, when I was doing my presentation and I had that screen up, where people had to pick, you couldn't see what I could see. And I've always thrown data out there, and I could see the data come to life out in the audience, because a bunch of people picked C, and that was the golden retriever, and just a small percentage picked A, which was the beaver. And then, probably that last 30% was split in half between the otter and the lion. So it really came out to fruition. What I've been saying, the data says. I wanted y'all to be able to see that and watch people right before you pick we have a lot of Goldens out there.
Yeah.
A lot of Golden Retrievers.
Yeah, it was really interesting. And I don't know if it was just where I'm at in the business, but I felt like just even not just your talk, but the others, it was very valuable, but it was easy to receive, if that makes sense. Right? Like even when you pulled those 4 things up, I was like, I know this stuff from what you've talked about before, but it was still like, this makes sense. Like I can grab it and go use it. Right. So, and I know it was just me on the call. It was just me, Megan, and Juanita who were there. But I think that's the biggest thing I took from it. I mean, I've been to, my first one was 2016 in January when we were at Raleigh. Remember when John Maxwell was supposed to be there?
And it snowed?
Iced over. Yep. That was my first one. And they've all been good, but it was cool. It was just cool to see the way the conference flowed, right, from beginning to end. And another thing, Andy did seem less stressed about certain things, right? I don't know if that was because of some of the stuff Mark was doing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was good. Like there's a lot of how to in there.
A lot of teaching instead of a lot of testimonials.
Right. So I enjoyed it. I mean, that's my biggest thing I took from it. I just thought it wasn't confusing. Like I felt it was pretty good. Yeah. Good.
And next time we'll be in Reno. We won't have to worry about weather. Not snow anyway. But we did have a pretty snow. It was a little difficult to drive in Friday night, but anyway, some of those Floridians, I know Katrina was calling me saying, what do I do in this snow? I'm freaking out in this snow. I can't drive in this snow. I've never seen snow before. I'm like, oh my God. But I said, don't slam on your brakes. Whatever you do, don't slam on your brakes. Well, Megan, what did you take away?
Okay. Hold on. We're right next to each other. Mine, just mediums. There we go. Yay, we figured out technology. Yeah, the snow, we were kind of freaking out. We were like, how are we going to drive in this? I asked Robbie before we left. I'm like, Robbie, how do we drive in snow? He goes, slow and steady. I was like, all right, Jonathan, slow and steady. And he got me and Juanita safely back to the hotel. He did great. But yeah, I ditto what Jonathan said. I really got more, we've never had as blunt of a training like Mark Hutchinson did. And that was incredible. I think that made me more convicted about wanting to about wanting and feeling like I need to bring more people there, because it takes the pressure. It takes the pressure off of the person who's leading the team on feeling like they have to train them on every little tiny thing, right? It really felt like I could bring somebody new to the event and they would leave knowing how to sell and write an insurance policy. And I don't think we've really ever mastered that before, of leaving the event, having a new agent confident and competent enough to actually go home and write an insurance policy. And so that was great. All the little I was really intentional about side conversations that I had. I had really great conversations with Eric Belair. He kicked our ass last year, intentionally. And we were happy for him. You got to let the old man win sometimes, but I learned, there's a lot to learn from that. There's a lot to learn from everybody. I think that all of us would agree. We know that, there's always something to learn. Always, 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 always. I never want to leave. I never want to leave that type of mindset of feeling like I have halted and know it all. I can be confident and competent in what I know and believe, but I also know that there's always growth and opportunity, that there's always something new I can learn. And so I just felt like it gave a lot of that. And I'm excited about the next events, truly. I've always been excited about the events, truly. And because I love everybody here, I love the people, but the content was really just an extra layer of me really feeling like I can bring somebody and then leave knowing how to be a better insurance agent, and not just an agent that's going to turn and burn. We're not here to just turn and burn policies, but to actually build quality relationships with our clients and write quality business and to be profitable. Because I really feel like that's how we're going to stand out from the competition, is being a force of agents that not just try to have commission breath and make the next sale and just turn and burn insurance policies, but build true relationships with our clients and truly serve our communities and be an agent that is different. So I thought it was great.
Yeah, I did too. I sensed it when I spent most of my time in the green room, but I could watch it from the screen that I had in there. But yeah, I thought it had a different feel to it, just everything. But I still say the secret sauce is the format that he's created, where we have more breaks, we have longer breaks. People do get back to their seat on time, and it worked. It just worked. And they're talking about Reno, that we're going to get out of there every day at 5 or 6 o'clock. That's going to be a first, and we'll have more time to spend with each other at night, because I think the true secret sauce is we get to associate with each other on the breaks, at lunch, and at supper. That that part right there is an intangible that we don't realize how important that is, because we do like talking to each other and catching up and sharing and that kind of thing. So Juanita, so she was there, and Juanita, what did you think? What was your takeaway?
Hey everybody. It was, I went for just the continuity and just kind of see, because it was my first time going, and it kind of tied everything together for me. From from working with Megan and Michelle and Mike, to kind of going out on my own and writing policies, but it gave me a bigger view of what the business could really be like, a deeper understanding about the alliance. I just wanted to see the overall view of it, and that's what I got. But I also got to see how I guess in more detail how people really work their business, just the realness of it, and then also, like we were talking about, just getting together with people, getting to know people on a personal level. It brings it more familiar. You get to know people and in their realness and how they really work and some of their struggles, and it's almost like, if you can do it, I can do it too, kind of thing, but on a little bit deeper level.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you see people from across the country. Like, we met people there from San Francisco, different places. And their experience. Everything just kind of, everything was different with each individual that I talked to, people from Charlotte, how they were building their team, and just overall, like, just really kind of fellowshipping with people, getting to know them. Everybody's getting the same training. Nobody's getting everybody's getting the same thing, and just different takeaways, and talking it through. And it's just the realness of it. It's a reality that you can attain.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you went. I'm so glad you went. It's exciting to be there with people in person. This is a wonderful tool we have, the Zoom, and we get to see each other on screen, but nothing replaces, being able to be around each other in person. So I think I always look forward to seeing you guys. I got a few things to go over with you tonight, pertaining to the numbers and some things that we're doing on other calls, but I'm gonna let Pam, I got to run in here to get something real quick. I'm gonna get a water, but I'm gonna let Pam go over get y'all's numbers for the week. Pam, are you on here?
You're muted, Pam.
I got it. Hey, Jonathan. I see you first. You're muted, Jonathan.
Okay, I had 3.
3? Okay. Jeff? Can you hear me, Jeff Adcock? There you are.
3 of them.
Thank you. Michelle?
I had 10, Pam.
Lord. And that hot hairdo, I love it. Love you being
Thank
a blonde. You look so
Big
awesome.
hair.
I love it. Megan?
I had 0. Sorry, y'all.
Uh-oh. Juanita?
3, I think 3.
3? All right. That's good. And Katie?
Hey, Pam, I had 5.
Oh, awesome. And Stephanie?
She may not be able to talk.
Stephanie can
She's at
talk.
the vet with her dog.
Can you chat us your numbers, Stephanie? How many apps? She's at the veterinarian with her dog.
Oh, okay. Oh, gosh. I hope everything's okay. All right. Well, if she can, I got everybody's numbers. Michelle's the winner. She's got 10.
You got to tell her we were just bragging on her on the other call, but
Yeah.
Hey, could you explain to them what we're doing on Terry's call and what happened tonight and how we decided to do the 7, 14, 21 and see if they want to participate in that? See if you can explain the 7, 14, 21 and how 7 equals 1, that ratio, see what they think about it. I just want to get their input about it.
Okay. So on the recruiting calls, we talked about having conversations, recruiting conversations, just like we have the number plan 1, 3, and 5. And the recruiting conversations is 7, 14, 21. And we came up with a 7 number, like 1 conversation a week. And then they talked about with your numbers, if you have 1 app, and your number was you needed 2 apps and you had 7 conversations, that could equal an app as well. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? He explains it better, but.
So 7 interviews could also equal 1 app if we did not have any apps submitted, or just if we have apps submitted, it also can equal 1 app. App.
Has he talked to y'all at all about the recruiting and the numbers at all?
No, we kind of mentioned it briefly last week.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're starting it with Terry Edwards, and then Jason wanted to jump on board too. We're kind of just going over the different numbers and how we should do it. And we really just came up with the conversations of the numbers like being 1, 3, 5, just be, for recruiting purposes, 7, 1421. And then tonight we got into a discussion, if someone had, say they were supposed to bring 2 apps and they only brought 1, but they talked to 7 people, then that would constitute 2 apps, So just kind of want to get your feedback on that. I think that's right, Jeff. 1721 and 7 apps 7 conversations can replace 1 app, right?
Well, it gets you a point toward the team score. I mean, obviously it's not going to give you a real app, but somebody that, I don't know, somebody that's,
That just wants to build, they can still interact on this call.
Yeah, somebody's 246, for example, and they wrote 1 app for the week, but they talked to 7 people. We're going to count that as 1 app toward their 1, and looks like they got 2. It's just to encourage them to get some more activity in, other than just writing business. But I mean, we're toying with the idea. We're trying to see if it's going to work on Terry Edwards's call, and we want to give it a month to see if it works. If it's something that we think is going to be beneficial, then we'll roll it out to all the teams. But I wanted to update you on what, how we're progressing on that, so that y'all will know that that's something that we can add on to this call if you want to later on. Yeah. All right. So, Mike, did you, is Mike on here? Yep. Where's Mike at?
Yes, sir.
There you are. So I want you to know that when I asked the Beavers to raise their hand in the audience, there wasn't hardly any raising their hand in the audience.
Well,
I made everybody look around. I was like, there ain't no Beavers out here in the audience. Where are all the Beavers at? Yeah.
I'm taking care of sick people.
But there was a bunch of people that chose of their choices, Mike. They had this as a choices, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they chose C overwhelmingly.
Yeah, that's the golden retrievers for sure.
That's who we work. That's who's out there. That's who we're having to work with, is the C's. There's a bunch of C's. And I did do this too, Mike. You think it's funny? I put this up.
Yeah.
You recognize that?
I sure do. Ending of Titanic.
Yep. So I asked them to interpret what was going on in the photo. And so everybody, was a little buzz going on. And then I showed them a picture of, let me get the picture out. To make it worse, I showed this picture.
Gotcha.
Because at this point, I think Jack is not alive. I think he's just holding on because he's frozen. And
Right.
She's just laying there singing a song, on a door. So when I asked the crowd, what was going on, they were shouting stuff out. So here's my takeaway. The Beaver looked at that and said, why can't we get more than one person on that
Exactly.
platform? Right. They tried one time and they gave up. So the Beaver would prove that 2 grown people could get on that.
Exactly.
There's plenty of room. The Lion, Michelle, would have commandeered another piece of wood like that at the very beginning. They would have not just got one. They would have gone and found another one. They'd have got 2 boards to put down for both of them. They wouldn't have wasted time doing anything but looking for pieces like that. That's what we deduced that the Lion would do. All right, so we know what the Lion and the Beaver would do. The Golden Retriever obviously looks at this photo and says, well, look at that sacrifice that he's making. That must be true love.
That's right.
Yeah. But the wild card here was the Otter. What would the Otter do? And I think that crowd was thinking things that I didn't mean for them to think. I could sense they were going down a bad road with their thought patterns. I could
Flip
just
the
sense.
board, flip her off it, get on top.
Yeah, that's what they were thinking. And I said, no, the otter wouldn't do that. Y'all thinking too bad of the otter. The otter would do this. They would go over to somebody that's on a door somewhere else and convince them that it's colder to be up on that door being wet with the wind hitting you. You should get down in this water and we'll trade places. They would sell that position.
Right, because flipping was too easy.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It needed to be, it had a little bit more drama to it.
Mm-hmm.
Need a few more steps, convincing.
Yeah. So, let me. So we got what? Besides me and Pam, we got 8 other people on here. Yeah. So do you have any new people on here tonight?
No new people.
No new people. Okay. So I've met everybody. So didn't we last time do the role plays and all that? And wasn't I going to do a lion with somebody?
Yes, you did them all but the lion.
Yeah. Don't like doing the lion, but it's hard for me to pull this off. But I'm gonna get my mind right. I can do it. But who wants to? You know, we're gonna start seeing people off the top of the screen. It's gonna go so and so left, so and so left. So nobody wants to do this. I'm gonna let Megan be the bad person and pick who should do the lion with me.
Ooh. I think. I don't know. Does anybody want to volunteer first before I choose somebody?
Well, they got to know how to do the phone script.
Okay, well, Jeff did one last time. Mom, did you do one last time? I think it should either be Juanita or Mom.
Well, your mom did last time. And we've established that your mom's pretty damn good at this. I don't like playing against your mom. She's not easily rattled. I usually rattle people.
Juanita's pretty good on the phone too. I think she can handle it.
Is she now? Okay. Juanita, can we do this together?
Let's give it a shot.
All right. You're not gonna get like hold this against me because of what I'm about to do, right?
No, I won't.
Okay. All right. I'm just playing a part now. It's just a part. All right. Okay. You do ring ring, and then I'll answer.
Ring, ring.
Yeah.
Well, hello. How you doing?
Yeah. Who's this?
Hi, this is Juanita. I'm your local representative for mortgage protection, and I was calling today to get a little time with you.
What's the mortgage? What are you referring to? I have no idea what you're talking about.
A little card here. You're Jeff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Yeah.
Jeff. I'm Juanita, and I'm your mortgage protection specialist here in Harris County. And I have a card here that you sent in maybe a little while ago, and that you may have wanted to see how you can protect your mortgage. I see this was from, looks like your credit union. You familiar with your credit union?
I don't recall filling out any card.
Well,
you might have the wrong person. I don't know what you're talking about. How do you know my last name?
Well, Jeff, I got a little card here. It has Jeff Bright on it, and looks like it said 123 Sunny Lane, right?
Yeah,
Houston,
so you have my address too. So
I do, and it looks like you had the mortgage. And sometimes people will fill these out, Jeff, and they may forget about it. But it's just my job to come and review it with you and see how I can help. I have time on Friday morning or Saturday afternoon. Which works best for you?
I think my wife must have filled this out. You need to talk to my wife.
I would love to. Will you guys be together either Friday morning or Saturday afternoon?
I worked on a farm on the property.
Oh, wow.
I have to take a four-wheeler down there to the barn site. I'm a couple of miles away from the house. I get there at 5 a.m. and I don't get back home till about midnight every night. So I'm not available down on the farm. But I tell you what, my wife gets home every day at 6 o'clock on the nose from work every day at 6 o'clock. And you can meet her at 6 o'clock and be right there on the stoop, and she'll walk in and she'll talk to you about this thing. But I can't leave the farm. I can't come up there and meet you.
Oh, Jeff, I understand. Does your wife usually take dinner down to you?
No, I take my dinner down there every night. Now sometimes I'll come back about 9 o'clock. Some nights I get tired. I've been there all day. But most time I'll stay there pretty late, but sometimes I get back about 9 o'clock.
Okay. About 9 o'clock.
Sometimes, yeah. But my wife's there every night at 6 o'clock. And I think she filled this out. She didn't tell me about it. I don't think we need no insurance. I'm not into that kind of stuff. But she thinks we need some coverage. I don't know what she's trying to do. Maybe she's trying to kill me or something. I don't know. But and get some insurance money. But I think you'd be best talking to her. I can tell her that you called, and you can meet her any day you want at 6 o'clock. She'll be willing to talk to you about it.
I bet you will. She sounds like a super cool person, Jeff. Let me ask you this. Is she Batman in the relationship, or is she Robin?
I think she's both.
Okay, so she's the primary decision maker. So whatever, if she decides that she'd like to review some things, that'll be okay with you?
Yeah. Long as y'all leave me out of it, I don't care what she does. She can do it if she wants to.
Okay, well, that's great to hear. But if you don't mind, we might just take a ride down about 9 p.m., see how you're doing, and just kind of review and make sure that we don't want to leave you out. How's that sound?
I don't think you need to come down there to the barn because one, I got the four-wheeler. You would have to walk down there, and it's dark, and it's not something you want to walk around in the dark. Yeah, I wouldn't want you to walk down there. If I can make it up there, if she'll give me a ring, I'll try to come up there, but I can't make no promises.
Well, I don't want you to make a promise. I just only want you to just let me know if it's okay to come by around 9 o'clock that evening. Okay. And if you'll meet me halfway, Jeff, I just need to put a face with a name. I need for you to see that I am a licensed individual here in the state of Texas that is able to give you this information. Now, once I give you the information, take me about 10 to 15 minutes. If it's something that you're okay with me talking with your wife about, then we'll take it from there. How's that sound?
Yeah, and like I said, I may not be available, but if I get a call from her, I'll try to get up there. If not, if I got something going on, sometimes I'm into stuff I can't get out of, and the liability is you really can't come down there near the farm. It's a liability on me, so you'll have to stay up there at the house. You can't come down there, but I'll try to get up there. If you get my wife in the house and y'all talk about it a while, and she calls me and I get a chance, I'll try to run down there to talk to you for a few minutes. And but like I said, I can't make no promises. But you just meet my wife any day you want at 6 o'clock. I'll tell her you're coming.
Okay, well, I won't make any promises I can't keep, Jeff. But what I will promise is that I will stop by. And if I can't catch you, if you're going to be down there to midnight on Friday night, I know a working man like yourself may need some sleep. So, hey, Saturday morning might sound better than Saturday afternoon.
For what? For me to meet
Yes,
you?
sir.
Yeah. I don't now. I think you'd probably be best just meet with my wife. I can't make no promises to meet you. My schedule's crazy down there. Sometimes I sleep in the barn. I don't even come back. So
Okay.
it just depends what I'm into. But Hey, you go ahead and call my, well, you don't have my wife's information. You need
I
to
don't.
have, you
Yeah,
need my wife's information.
Yeah,
So
Jeff.
y'all can leave me out of it.
I only have your information, Jeff.
Yeah, you need my wife, so y'all can leave me out of it. I'll just give you my wife's telephone number, and you call her, and y'all can just work this out and leave me completely out of it. That'd be best. So
Okay.
let me give you her telephone number. It's 336-227-1313.
That's 226-13.
13.
Okay, wonderful. Now, Jeff, what's your wife's name?
Her name is Nancy.
Nancy. Okay, Jeff. So Jeff and Nancy. So Jeff, what I will do, I will make you this promise that I will stop by around 9 o'clock. I understand there's liabilities on the farm, but I'm pretty sure if Nancy escorts me down there just so that I can lay eyes on you, verify your signature, we can go ahead and we can start talking about what you want to do about protecting your farm. I know we wouldn't want to make any rash decisions without just laying eyes on each other. I just really want two things. Want to be able to review what you have, and you see my license and ID. How about that?
Like I said, if I can get up there, I'll come up there and look at it. If I can't, we just won't be able to hook up. But
yeah, I understand. You'll
have my wife's information. You can call her and y'all can set it up, and she knows my schedule. If it can happen, she'll make it happen. If not, we'll catch you another time. But if you call her on that telephone, I got to get back down to the farm, so I have to go now.
Well, Jeff, I look forward to seeing you on Friday evening. I hope I can lay eyes on you. If not, we'll have to make it another time. But I'll be in your area about 9 p.m. that night. Okay.
Okay.
And this is my number. The number I just dialed you on, which is area code 832-555-1313. Right. Mm-hmm. And I will speak with Nancy, and hopefully I'll be able to speak with you, and we'll go from there. How about that?
Sounds good.
Okay, Jeff. You have a good evening.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye. All right. So I thought Juanita did pretty good. I think you're right. She's obviously done this before. This ain't her first rodeo. So what is the critiques here? Any critiques?
I liked the Batman and Robin comment.
Yeah.
Who makes the decisions? I thought that was because for a lion, especially, they don't want to be the one that doesn't wear the pants. Right? They want to make decisions. They want to make decisions.
Yeah, in that respect, Jeff, you were not the lion. I'm sorry. I gotta tell you. You play the lion on that part.
I didn't.
It's hard to be something you're not.
And it's a stretch, Michelle. I didn't get the Academy Award for this lion. I should let Michelle be the lion. It comes more natural.
I thought you did great, Juanita. And you got him tied down as much as you possibly could. I mean, he wasn't giving up for anything. And you asked really great questions as well.
I did. I thought she did too. Yeah, she didn't give up on it. That's for sure. Yep. Good job.
She was great. In some ways, I think lions are easier to set appointments with because they are salespeople. They can be salespeople, good salespeople, and salespeople like salespeople. They like to buy.
You think they recognize your strong will, Michelle, when one strong will recognizes another strong willed person?
I definitely think so. I think people have told me that on the phone multiple times. That's why they set appointments with me. Because I didn't give up. Because I was so persistent. Because I called them back 3 times.
Yeah. It would be, I would find it hard saying no to you. You would make me, I'd give in eventually, but I thought Juanita was pretty persistent. I could tell she's had somebody's trained her right.
Okay. So here's some other things I would have asked Juanita. Okay. So I know you must take a day off every week. What day is it? Like nobody works 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. I do have farmers that are customers of mine and they do work a lot. And I do call them late at night after 7 or 8.
That's true.
But that would have been another question I would have asked. And I don't know if you asked that question. I didn't hear it if you did. But
no, I didn't.
Okay. So that's one question I would have asked. Like, what day do you take off? Are you off on Sunday? You know, I mean, most farmers do take a day off.
Yeah.
What other questions could she have asked anybody?
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I would have said is, you know, gosh, Jeff, it sounds like this farm can't run without you. And I'd wait for you to agree. And then I'd say, well, that sounds like the reason your wife filled this out, because, you know, I grew up summers on the farm and I know how dangerous it can be. Boy, something can happen to you. What would happen if you got injured, or God forbid, you got a diagnosis of cancer or something like that, and you couldn't be there all day, every day to run this farm? And I'd wait for her to answer.
Fabulous question.
Really good. It's really good. Yep.
It's always easy when you have time to think about it.
Yeah.
Jeff gets into the emotion, and that's how he makes so many referrals and sales with his own customers.
Yeah, I could see that. I do think stuff like this is good for practice, you know, especially new people that are just getting started. If we could put them through this kind of training, I think it would help their anxiety about doing it. Yeah, we don't, do we have some people on the call that hate dialing, that have anxiety about dialing?
I don't like dialing.
You don't like dialing?
No,
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's because you're an otter.
I guess I dialing.
I don't like starting.
But it's a necessary evil, right? It's the necessary. I can't make sales if I don't dial, so therefore I dial.
What about Jonathan? Jonathan, what do you think about the role play we just did?
I liked it. I think this stuff is great. Even for me, like, I kind of like dialing.
Yeah, he does.
At least
I like dialing too. I'm a lion.
I've learned to, you know, I really have always liked it because I'm very results driven, and I know if I have to start there before anything ever is going to happen. Right? So maybe that's why I've always made a lot of phone calls, you know? But this still is helpful to me. Like, they can see me.
No, look, I see that wine right there.
Yeah.
You like that? That's mine.
Yeah. I think it's very helpful just as a refresher, and to hear it from, you know, your angle, right? Hear it from someone else's angle. You can always learn.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we can do more of this. We can actually do like an in-home training too. You know, where I can do that with you too. So tonight, with the time we have left, let's see, what time is it now?
8:40. 9:40.
9:41. We've been with these other calls having this discussion. I don't know, Jonathan, do you remember the last thing I said on stage when I was running kind of like over, and they jacked up my video? I wanted to show a video. That video was ready to go. I swear to God, somebody in that booth up there shut my darn video down on purpose. So, and I was, as an otter, it just bothered me. But I started talking about living 70% of the population, I said, lives between failure and survival. Did you remember starting that conversation a little bit?
Yep. And I was upset too. I wanted to see it.
Yeah. So, well, I see, I have this talk that I do called the 3 C's to success. And I haven't done that with you guys. Right. So, and it's, and we can do that next time. It's called commitment, consistency, and completion. And so for me, when people come to all the calls that I do, because I had a bunch of people out there that I got on calls. I mean, there's about 130 in that crowd that were on community Zooms. And I bet you by Reno that'll be 300 people on community Zooms. It's growing. I've added we've added about 5 more calls since convention because people are hearing about it. But people come to the community Zoom calls and they keep posting zeros week after week after week. So when somebody gives a 0 to me and they go, I got a 0, and they're supposed to do at least 1. To me, in my visual of what I'm hearing versus what I'm visualizing is this. If they come 1 week and they did a 0, I imagine them squatting down on the ground. When they do 2 zeros in 2 weeks in a row, I imagine them sitting down. And I actually was going to do that on stage, but I didn't want to get dusty because I had on that black coat. So the 3rd 0 in a row reminds me of somebody kind of laying down with their arm like this. And 4 zeros in a month reminds me of somebody laying flat on their back, just looking at the ceiling. That's where I was going to get in that position on stage, and I thought better of it. But to me, that's what failure looks like. He's laying flat on your back. Gravity will pull you down to the ground. And I'm telling you what, gravity don't lift you back up. And as you get older, me being 60, I'm telling you what, once you get on the ground, it's a whole lot harder to get up off the ground. I'm trying to get people on these calls never to feel the ground, never touch the ground, don't get on the ground because it's harder to get back up. Now, if you do get knocked down and you do have a bad week and you get a 0, I want you to get up faster, like Rocky said. It's not how hard you get hit, it's how fast you can get up, back up and hit harder the next time. But I want you to not be like Rocky, really. I'm not really impressed with Rocky. I'm more impressed with this WWE superstar named The Undertaker. And when he would get knocked down, they thought he was laying there and he was completely knocked out. That joker would rise up like he's rising up out of a coffin, and he would rise up and he would stand straight up. That's who I want you to be, is The Undertaker, and rise up, because I don't want you to live in failure. I want you to go toward survival. Don't fall backwards, fall forward toward surviving. Now, once you get to surviving, survival on this call is writing your minimum. That's living in survival mode, is just writing your minimum every week. That's where I want people to get to, but that's not where I want you to stay. I want you to eventually kick the door open of survival and go through the other side, walk through the threshold of survival. And on the other side is success, which equates to writing. If you're writing 1 a week and that's your minimum, start writing 2 or 3 a week. That's where success is, right beyond survival. Most of this country lives in a survival mode. They live in this mode of just good enough. I'm going to put in my 8 and I'm going to hit the gate. I'm going to do just enough to survive. I'm going to live paycheck to paycheck. That's where most people's mindset is. We have to get them from survival mode to success. And I tell you where I think that starts. First and foremost of the first C is making a commitment. Now, a lot of people came out of this convention all fired up. I'm all for being fired up. I like being jacked up coming out of a convention, but that doesn't equate to apps. Believe me, it doesn't equate to apps, or we'd have a convention every weekend. It just doesn't sustain applications submitted. It gets you to recommit or maybe commit for the first time. But after that, the do that follows it is not sustainable. So therefore, I need consistency in people. People need to adapt consistency, which is a routine. Routine is the secret to get you from survival and cross through that threshold to success. A routine is made up of multiple habits like dialing, scheduling, booking appointments. You know, everything we do in this business, we need to create these habits that create routine, because routine gives you a gift. The gift of routine is it creates clarity. It gets your mind off everything that's ailing you, that's bothering you. When you get into a routine, you ain't thinking about your problems.
True.
You know, so when I always use these examples of me playing tennis, but I mean, I played a lot of tennis in my life and a lot of competitive matches. So I flash back to that. And I want you to know, look, my opponent across the net was not my biggest opponent. It was this opponent right here, because it wasn't a clash of skills. It was a clash of wheels. It really came down to who wanted it more, not who was the better tennis player, but who wanted it more. Now, yes, was I outmatched sometime? Was I on the defensive? Did they have me running back and forth? Were they controlling the point? Yes, they were. And that's not a good feeling, to be on the defensive. I don't want to be the prey. I want to be the predator. I suggest these people on these calls start chasing your goal. It's better to be the chaser than being chased. So what I did when I was being chased and I was put on the defensive, I always went back to one thing, the fundamentals. I always went back. What was going on between here and what was going on with this racket had to do with the fundamentals. When I was getting my ass handed to me, I went back to the fundamentals. I said, Jeff, get your butt down to the ground. Bend those knees. Get that racket all the way back, not halfway back, all the way back. Don't scoop ice cream. Hit that flat ball and quit scooping. And when I went back to the fundamentals and I started to win some points and I started to put that person on the defensive, winning solves a lot of problems. But I couldn't think about winning the match. I had to win 1 point at a time. I was trying to win. That's what it's called, learning to play points. Some people get out there and just hit every ball. I'm trying to win a point. No matter what I had to do, 1 point at a time. It's one app at a time. Take 1 point at a time. And as you win points, you gain confidence. And as you stay in a routine and stay in your fundamentals, you have a strategy to win. When you're winning, you don't think about hitting the ball past the line, hitting the ball and missing the lines. Not hitting the top of the net never entered my mind when I was winning. When they had me on the defensive, I was worried about making mistakes. When I was winning, I went for every shot and I did not have any fear of anxiety that I was going to mess up. And that's just kind of an analogy. I don't know if there's a better analogy out there, but one app at a time, 1 point at a time. It's a matter of will, not skill. And I think this business is no different. What do you think, Michelle?
I think you're exactly right. When you get in a routine and a pattern of habits, it changes your whole life. And you're just like right now, I mean, I had 49 people to call on Saturday on my calendar. 49 people on Saturday. Did I reach them all? No. But the more people I talk to, the more people I give numbers and quotes to, the more people I sell. It's a numbers game. And so, and when I'm working, I don't think about my illness. I don't think about my problems. I don't think about my hospital. I don't think about getting sick to my stomach. I don't think about having no hair. I don't think about having no eyebrows, all this stuff that can bring you down. So you gotta get your head out of that stuff and get your head into the positive. And the only way to do that is to go to big meetings and to get around people who are positive, who can uplift you and bring you up and help you, because it was the big meetings that helped me become a top producer in the company. And it was the people that I was surrounding myself with that helped me become that person, because I was not that person when I came here.
I was about to ask you that, Michelle. I've always wanted to know what you were like when you first started, because I don't think I knew you when you first started selling insurance. Did you always know that you were going to be as successful as you are when you first started?
Well, I told this story a couple of weeks ago at sales meeting. I said, I had an ability that I believed in myself when I came to the business, because I had a brother in my family who had no high school degree. He's made over 200 million in his, he's made many, many millions in his lifetime. He's very successful. He didn't have a high school degree.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that I could do anything in life that I wanted if I wanted it hard enough. And so I had this belief in myself that a lot of people don't have when they get into the business. That's what do you call it? That animal, the golden retriever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the lion in me, I guess. I believed in myself, so I wasn't afraid to get on the phone. When I was young, when I was 15, my dad always owned his own business. He had an appliance store, and he sold refrigerators, he sold TVs, he sold washers and dryers. Our first dishwasher, that was in the 60s or 70s, right? We got a dishwasher, because he had an appliance store. But we used to have an alarm system, and our appliance store was not in a good part of town. Okay. It was a really bad part of town. We didn't live in a great part of town. And the alarm would go off in the middle of the night. And I was 14 years old, and he would make me go with him to the store. Someone had broken in to the store, and the police hadn't even gotten there. And he would make me go into the store and go on in without the police. You think that was scary for a 14-year-old?
Yeah. That's
So,
crazy.
I really had no fear after I did some stuff like that.
I bet not.
I guess it's life experiences, right?
Yeah. But, I always think, it's life experiences, but also I think there's some genetics going on there. So, your parents, your dad probably wasn't scared either, right?
He wasn't scared at all. He said, come on in. There's nobody in here. They're already gone. They've already taken everything they wanted to take.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
now your mom, does she have that type of demeanor, or just you take after your dad that way?
I don't know. What do y'all think, Megan? Megan doesn't know. I don't think my mom was that way. My dad was that way.
Your dad was that way. So Megan's she must take after your mom, right? A little bit. She got a little bit of you, but she might have a little bit of her grandma in her. That's what I'm guessing.
I think so. And
Mm-hmm.
some of her dad in her too.
Oh yeah, well, we can't forget him. I'm sorry, we forgot him in this whole equation. He did help create you too, right? He wasn't just Michelle doing it. Sorry, Mike. We didn't mean to leave you out.
But I remember being scared, and I remember just going in anyway. Just above my fear. I would just had to go in anyway, you know? And I
Yep.
remember when I was learning how to drive, my dad would, in the middle of a rainstorm on the freeway, he would tell me to slam on my brakes. He was crazy. And I was like, no, I'm stopping the car and you're going to drive because you are crazy. You know, he wanted me to do that because he wanted me to learn what it would feel like
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
have that experience to learn how to handle a car.
Right.
But, you know, it was a little bit on the edge.
And a little bit on, it sounds like a little bit on the edge. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, Michelle,
And we would fight and I would scream at him. He would scream at me and I would just pull over. And I said, no, you're driving the car. I'm not doing it anymore.
yeah.
That was too much.
So did Mike ever meet him?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike can tell you some stories.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure. He liked you, Mike, right off the bat.
Oh, yeah. I was a new experiment for him. So,
Was Ruth that way too?
no, but she was always trying to calm his crazy down.
Mm.
She was always would say things like, now, TJ, you leave Mike alone. Get back over here.
Yeah. Well, you know what, guys? Y'all are an inspiration. Michelle, you continue to be an inspiration. I talk about you on all the calls, and you know.
Well, my dad, whenever my friends would come over, he would preach to them. And he would write these papers and he would preach to all my friends. And I'd be like, please, Dad, don't do this to this one. Please. You know, I would just beg him.
That sounds super familiar with you recruiting all my friends, boyfriends.
It does.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, I guess.
Evidently not. So we'll talk a little bit more about it next week. But this quote I'll leave you with, and I made this quote up because I needed a quote and I couldn't find one, so I made this quote up about the 3 C's. Commitment is what drives you. Consistency is what disciplines you, and completion is what rewards you. So we'll go back over it next week and talk a little bit more about it. But I enjoy being on a call with you guys. I look forward to every week. Let's get some more people on the call and let's try to move this needle.
Hi,
Thank you, Jeff, buddy.
everybody.
Thank Pam.
Yeah, y'all take
For
care.
your time, Pam, and everybody else. We will see you guys
Love y'all.
tomorrow at
Bye.
the sales meeting.
Bye-bye.
Bye.